In this video, I'm going to make a start with the third moves alternatives for white. Knight f3 is the main alternative. In this video, I will only look at d takes c5 and e3. Now, let's first get d takes c5 out of the way. I always thought that black was already a little bit better here because of the better pawn structure, but it turns out that it's not that easy, at least. We should go e6 when if white goes knight f3, then we take on c5, e3 castle, and now we have a reversed queen's gambit accepted, where we are basically playing white, but we delay the move d7, d5. This should be not a problem at all for us, although we do not have our typical Benko play, of course. The attempt to keep the pawn with bishop e3, here we need to know some more exact moves. Queen a5 is the best way to start, and now white has tried 3 moves. Let's first look at knight c3, then we have knight e4, and after queen a4 we can just trade queens, and after knight a6 we are securing material equality because we are regaining the c5 pawn when I believe that black has the better pawn structure. If white goes queen d2, then we take on d2, knight takes d2, knight a6, and now knight b3. So white is holding on to this extra pawn, and here I had a look at both knight g4 and knight b4, and I came to the conclusion that knight b4 was the most accurate way to start. If white castles queenside, we will just take the pawn and go back when, according to the engine at least, black is a little bit better. And if white plays king d2, then now we go knight g4, and now we are threatening to ruin white's structure with knight take e3, since white cannot take back with the king because of knight c2 check. And after bishop d4 we go knight c6, when once again, if bishop e3, you have the choice between repeating with knight b4 or to just take on e3 and play a5. If anyone is better here, it's black. So that leaves the move knight d2, which is not very aspiring, but at least white is not ending up in a worse position here. We will take on c5, and after e3 here, b6, we have easy development. We will go bishop b7, and then you can choose your setup. Maybe you want to play d6, knight d7, but you could also try to play, of course, for the move d5. And that's pretty much all that you need to know about d takes c5. e3 is a little bit more complicated. We can go g6, and then we are offering white to return to Benko territory with d5, but white can also delay this, and before you know it, you are ending up into some opening that you don't play, like a Panov variation of the Caro-Kann is very possible to get from this type of positions. Therefore, I suggest to go d5, when white can play c takes d5, but then after knight d5, e4, knight c7. We are not afraid of d takes c5. We are actually taking on d1, but white can't castle anymore, and he will easily regain back this pawn with knight a6 and followed by e5. And if white pushes with d5, then we can attack white center with e6 when we have a good game. And same for dc5 here. Then we will go e6, e4, knight f6, take. Now 2 pawns are hanging. White can play f3. That's the pawn that I would want to keep. And then there's bishop takes c5, and our king will find a nice spot on e7. Actually, having played f3 has really weakened this diagonal, and yeah, that's not something white will be happy about. So yeah, d5 I like. What white can do is just develop at knight f3, then we can take and go g6, knight c3, bishop g7, and yeah, this is a perfectly fine position. Actually, there are games here. White has an isolated queen pawn, but black has many good plans here. Black can also go for some b6 setups, but yeah, knight c6, knight a5, of course, is very on point since white has this queen on b3, bishop c4 setup, and knight c6 is just threatening to get the pair of bishops. And well, that's pretty much not all of it, because there is also white can play knight c3. Then we have to go e6, knight f3, knight c6, and a3. Now a6 is what I would recommend when there are actually thousands of games here, but yeah, it's really an equal position. Yeah, white's extra tempo is just quite meaningless here. So, and with that we have covered the third move alternatives d takes c5 and e3, and now it's time to move on to the more interesting 3 knight f3.